Hi, I'm Brenda Watson. I want to talk today about an article that I was reading recently about how the University of South Florida offers a class for lessons in happiness. Now, I thought that was a really good thing to do, and it got me to thinking about how great it would be if the universities would offer just general lessons on health. That's it, just general lessons on 4 or 5 things they can offer us to start thinking about as we get older about our health, or even as we're younger. Thinking further, I would imagine that this course would include 4 to 5 major things, or what we would call acts of health, that one would learn to ensure that they would get good health in their life. And I think these acts of health would include reducing or eliminating inflammation. How much do we hear today about inflammation? More and more research is popping up about how inflammation is the cause factor in the development of disease. Most of us think inflammation is being related to cardiovascular disease, arthritis, and intestinal conditions like colitis, which it is inflammation. But we know chronic inflammation is involved in the development of asthma, diabetes, lupus, liver disease, Alzheimer's disease, and cancer. So it would be like living the anti-inflammatory lifestyle, which would include limiting, this is the key word here, high sugar, high fructose corn syrup, like pastries and sodas, high saturated fatty foods, processed boxed foods, and processed meats like sausages, hot dogs, and lunch meats. These 4 things make up about 90% of the average people that I look at every day of what they're eating. If we had the anti-inflammatory lifestyle, it would be made up instead of omega-3 oils, lean protein, and lots of leafy green or bright-colored vegetables, and also fruits. The pigment, even the pigment in vegetables and fruits, contain phytochemicals that would create anti-inflammatory properties. Living your anti-inflammatory lifestyle would include clean water, which you would filter, and getting the proper amount of sleep. This is so important. I can tell you, folks, when you get older, all you women out there, sleep will become one of the most important things that you can ever do because you're trying to get more of it every day. There is so much guidance, though, out there on all of this today. And also, we have the Fiber 35 program. That's 35 grams of fiber, and this is targeted for people with a healthy lifestyle. Number 2 in our lessons would be protect the digestive system. And now, as we know, and I've spoken on so many times, that chronic diseases stem from an unhealthy digestive system. The digestive system, folks, is the root of your tree. Remember that. It's the roots. To protect your digestive system, you would want to digest your foods. That would be pretty important. Properly digesting your foods would be really important. Taking enzymes with every meal if necessary. So if you're not digesting your foods, you're having heartburn, gas and bloating, you could be constipated. You want to take digestive enzymes with your meals. If you can get food, protein, starches, and fats down to nutrients, that is half the battle. Don't worry about taking enzymes and it affecting your enzymes that you produce naturally. It does not affect them. So fiber would also be another added component to the healthy digestive system. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, balance your hormones. Most of us think of just our reproductive or sex hormones, like estrogen and testosterone. But there are many more hormones in the human body that when they are unbalanced, folks, there are so many things that it affects in our functions. Hormones also should be tested and balanced. These hormones are serotonin, melatonin, thyroid, cortisol, and dopamine. Unbalanced hormones can lead to high blood pressure, which happened to me, weight gain, which happened to me, and depression, which happened to me. A good healthcare practitioner can guide you on how to test your hormones so you can get help with this. And if you tend to have problems, even if it's early in life, ladies, get your hormones checked now. Once you reach age 40, you're going to want to start testing your hormones frequently. And of course, if you're post-menopausal, you need to start working on your hormone testing now. The fourth lesson would be reduce toxicity in your home and your body. We have learned so much in recent years about how toxins accumulate in our bodies. So that means we store them. A lot of these are considered endocrine disruptors and neurotoxins, and we're learning more on this every single day. This means that they can disrupt the function of all the hormones I just talked about, as well as damage the central nervous system. And in my book, The Detox Strategy, you will find so many suggestions on how to clean up your personal environment as well as your body and lower the load on the body. A cleansing and detox program should be done several times a year. And the fifth and final lesson in our lessons of health, of course, would be learn how to relax. Stress, whether emotional or physical, can be a causative factor in disease. Remember this, folks. You want to be at cause of your health and not effect. You are at cause. Stress, whether it's emotional or physical, weakens your immune system and leads to chronic fatigue, digestive problems, increased risk of heart attacks and strokes, as well as reduces your overall quality of life and relationships. Learning stress reduction techniques or activities, remember exercise is in there, can be very helpful, like meditation, yoga, deep breathing. A stress management technique to consider is called the TARP method. This method was created as an uncomplicated approach towards controlling natural responses to stressful situations. So I hope you found this helpful and share these lessons of health with your family and friends. Who knows? Maybe one day they will be part of your university curriculum. Thank you for watching. See you next time.